From the scenic city of Lexington, Kentucky, it's another big afternoon in the Gainbridge Super League here on Peacock. Lexington welcomes Brooklyn with home field advantage potentially on the line for the playoffs. Catherine Berry leading the Golden Boot chase at the moment. Her and Lexington need 3 points to stay on course for a home playoff game and potentially even the Players' Shield. But Sam Rosette and Brooklyn, despite being out, look to provide Lexington with a roadblock in Kentucky today. Very exciting game coming up in just a few. Welcome in, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew. Gainbridge Super League action here on Peacock. Lexington welcomes Brooklyn to Lexington Stadium here in Kentucky. Certainly a massive game for the host today in their pursuit for a potential home playoff game and maybe even the Players' Shield. The standings look like this. A win for Lexington puts them within 3 points of top of the table, Sporting Jacks, and gives the host tonight an inside track of at least one home playoff game.
However, if Lexington loses or drops points in this game, Sporting Club Jacksonville will claim the #1 seed and the Players' Shield here in the 2025-2026 season.
So that puts some pressure on Lexington to take care of business here at home today. But in general, they have been taking care of business. You look at the last 8, 5 victories, 2 draws.
And of those 8 matches, 5 of them have been clean sheets. This team is one that just converts their chances in front of net. Head coach Kosuke Kimura has just said his team has been so detail-oriented from day one, knowing exactly what their roles are on the pitch to get the job done.
Lexington have stars on either side of the ball. Catherine Berry's leading the Golden Boot chase right now with 15 goals. And Kat Asman's right there in the goalkeeper of the year conversation.
What can you ask for from the top of your lineup to the very back of it? You are having stars on the pitch. Kat Berry, she has been in that central position, really allowing her to go right at goal. And Kat Asman, she has just been show-stopping for Lexington this season.
They've been really impressive to watch throughout this Gainbridge Super League season. For Brooklyn, a player that's been impressive all year in a number of different areas has been Leah Scarpelli.
2 goals, 2 assists on the year for her. She's a midfielder that has been converted to outside back for this Brooklyn side where they've needed her. She has filled in that role, giving her a little bit of more extra responsibility, but she is a player that really represents the Brooklyn mentality.
She'll be key if Brooklyn are to pull off an upset here in Lexington today. Lexington needs this game very badly for home field and potentially to stay in the Players' Shield chase. Can Brooklyn provide a late season hurdle for them on their home turf? Lineups and kickoff are next on Peacock.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise.
Wind up effort. Oh my goodness!
The energy.
It is Firmino!
90 minutes where nothing else matters.
How about a debut goal for Lexington?
It's the year of the horse. Our year.
Epps inside. Benton!
Be there when it happens.
Lexington Sporting Club isn't just a team, it's your club. That's why you need the LSC credit and debit cards only from Commonwealth Credit Union. With your LSC card, you get exclusive discounts on tickets, merch, and get to celebrate your club with every swipe or tap. Show your Lexington Sporting Club pride and gear up with the ultimate fan accessory only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gainbridge, graded assists for your savings.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today's match is presented by Embassy Suites. Embassy Suites Lexington Green is your go-to spot for a weekend staycation, a night out, hotel meetings and events, or out-of-town friends. Local, loyal, and always game day ready. Sean and Jade back here with you. Let's dive right into the starting lineup. We start with the host, Lexington.
Only one change here for head coach Kosuke Kimura. Brown will step into that outside back role. And I want to talk about the three forwards up top for Lexington. Mackenzie Weiner, Kat Berry, and Sarah Griffith. They combined for 27 of the 46 goals that Lexington has scored this season. That is not including Addie McCain's 8 goal contributions as well. They're a force to be reckoned with up top and can threaten from all sides of the pitch.
On the other side of things, for Brooklyn under Tomas Tingahinha, quite a few changes.
We knew this was going to be happening coming into this match, wanting to give the players that have been in the training environment and keeping it competitive that opportunity to play, and history being made today as well. Anna Markovic, number 7 up top, is playing with her sister Kiki Markovic for the first time ever in the Gainbridge Super League that we will have a sibling duo on the pitch together. This time they're starting the game.
Very, very cool moment for them. Very, very cool moment for Brooklyn as well. Let's take a look at this afternoon's keys to the match. They're brought to you by Toyota, and again, we start with the hosts.
Lexington ready for transition moments. Brooklyn is a team that capitalizes off of the transition. They will look to pick the ball up and go straight to goal. Lexington has to be aware of where the Brooklyn attacking players are and make sure that they are not conceding those moments. And then for Brooklyn, control their own game. This is a team, yes, out of the playoff picture, but still fighting for the next season, what that looks like for them. And Tomas Tingahinha told us that they concede a lot of late goals, conceded after 90 minutes in their game against Dallas on April 25th. So just having that mentality for an entire 90 is important for Brooklyn today.
Brooklyn has a very good chance potentially to make quite an impact on 2 different races at the end of this Gainbridge Super League season. They could impact the Players' Shield race here today against Lexington, and then they go to Spokane next week. They could impact the race for the 4th and final playoff spot. That is what's in their near future. For Lexington, have to win today to take care of business, to stay in the Players' Shield chase, and to get back into 2nd place to stay ahead of Carolina for a potential home playoff game. Lexington get us started. They are in their home whites with the green trim. Brooklyn are in their road blacks, and we are underway from Lexington Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew, great to have you with us here on Peacock. A wild day of twists and turns in the Gainbridge Super League yesterday. Lexington have to finish the weekend with 3 points here to put pressure on Sporting Jacks next week, and again, to put their noses in front of Carolina for, at the moment, the number 2 seed in the upcoming Gainbridge Super League playoffs here on Peacock. The referee in red is Sean Tahini, and the referee's awarded a Brooklyn throw on the far side. Look there at Kosuke Kimura, what a job he's done, particularly here at home. Lexington have been so difficult to beat throughout the season. Remember, Lexington were one of the bottom feeders in the Gainbridge Super League last season. And obviously, particularly what Coach Kimura has done in the last few months is made Lexington one of the prime contenders to maybe win the whole thing.
And he took over for Mac Hemme. He was an assistant under Coach Hemme earlier this year and has come in, and not a lot has changed within the team since he has taken over. And he shared with us that how when he came to the United States to play, he was told that he wasn't enough to play on the pitch, enough to really make an impact. And he wants to give his team that spirit of you can do anything when you play together. And he's just put that type of spirit into his team and really poured into them, understanding that they want to enhance each other on the pitch, make each other look better instead of individual play. And I think that's part of why Lexington has been so successful this season. They work off each other so well, and they work together very well.
McCain and company nearly pounced on that for Lexington Well recovered by Brooklyn in the middle of their own half to keep possession. The early ball played down this near side will be swept up by Allison Pantuso. Bourgeois and company to retain possession for Lexington. Flag's going to go up here, offside. As Mackenzie Weinert is having another great Super League season. Just went a little bit too early this time.
Lexington wants to try to get as forward as quickly as they possibly can. This ball played back from Barry, and then that one-time ball over the top to Weinert, who was streaking down that far side. Weinert were to stay on side. She takes one touch across the back line, and she's in on goal 1v1.
Oh, lovely touch here. Leah Scarpelli highlighted her earlier, nearly weaving her way through traffic there, but Lexington defensively are able to handle it in the end. You mentioned Matt Hemme, of course, who's now the men's Lexington head coach in the USL Championship. They're coming off a big, big win over Monterey Bay last time out, and hoping that could be a game that turns their season around in the Western Conference in that league. Not a bad time to be a Lexington Sporting Club supporter. The women's side are playing great, looking like one of the favorites in the Gainbridge Super League, and it does feel like Matt Hemme starting to turn things around with the men's team, who have plenty of talent and could do a lot of damage in the USL Championship this year as well. On the other side of the coin, Tomas Tingahinha, head coach for Brooklyn. Listen, there's frustration around the club. They don't make the playoffs for a second consecutive year. You could tell when we talked with them earlier this week how much they're really, really bummed and frustrated about that. But he said now it's about finishing the season strong with whatever team we put out there. They have to provide the energy. He said now it's about using that momentum to get to the end of this season and then hoping they can take the next step next season.
And he admitted to us that there has been a ton of highs and lows in their season, and they've changed how they've played midseason as well, and really trying to implement a lot of tactical changes as well as just building that culture within this Brooklyn side, who has had turnover over these last 2 years. Something that they've been very key on is the mental part of the game, how they approach it, which is the most important.
Well, meanwhile, Mackenzie Weinert picks up a yellow card here. She's a bit perplexed over the referee's decision there. It comes from that moment.
Weinert saying that she never touched Markovic, Anna Markovic, on that far side off the throw-in from Rosette.
That yellow card is brought to you by Dixon Funson.
Granted, from our angle, we couldn't see that other side, so not sure if we can confirm or deny. However, Brooklyn, prime opportunity here.
They take the set piece square, and it ends up being a very errant shot in the end. It fizzles out very quickly there for Brooklyn, and it's a goal kick.
Yellow card issued to LSC's number 11, Mackenzie Weinert, in the 6th minute.
I mentioned earlier about the men's side with Lexington. Brooklyn's men's side under Marlon LeBlanc have also shown some good signs as well. It feels like the future of both clubs, men's and women's, could be really, really good if it continues down the right trajectory. And I only highlight that because that's how it should be. These clubs that are trying to attack it on multiple fronts, this is what you want to see. These are the kind of results and the trajectory that it should be going on.
And just to continue the growth of not only their organizations, but the players that are within them as well, all either trying to figure out their professional careers or coming to the Gainbridge Super League and the USL to have that opportunity to play here on home soil in very competitive environments. It's massive for all of these teams who are trying to do both the men's and the women's side.
These are the kind of signs that show you the growth of all the leagues under the USL umbrella. Played square for Jordan Thompson, who surveys the scene here for Brooklyn. And as we mentioned earlier, if it were to stay like this, in a draw scenario, Sporting Jacks would win the Players' Shield today. There'd be nothing they'd need to do on the final day. But if Lexington takes care of business, this is where it gets very interesting. If Lexington wins, Sporting Jacks have to go to Carolina next week for the finale. Lexington are at home next week, so it could still turn in Lexington's favor as far as the #1 seed in the playoffs, and again, winning the Players' Shield. Throw in for Lexington on the near side. Griffith. Barry. Like cross took a big deflection, and Bree Norris is there to collect for Brooklyn. Near side, Scarpelli. Some Lexington pressure forces it back to Thompson, who just feeds it through the lines there.
That's a beautiful pass there by Thompson into the midfield, breaking the line, the front pressure line. Addie McCain not pinched in enough to make that pass not go through. However, just thread the needle from the back line into the midfield line for Brooklyn. Something they're going to need to continue to do today to break down that Lexington pressure.
For Brooklyn, mixed results as of late. They've lost 3 of their last 5. Just 2 road wins this season. That's really kind of what's let them down in this playoff chase. So when you look at teams like DC Power and Carolina, teams have been so good on the road. Can't really take that for granted. It's incredibly difficult in the Gainbridge Super League and any league really to have a positive road record, let alone a really good road record. Lexington look to play their way through here. McCain from Barry. Bourgeois. Able to play that square, helped along by Taylor Almer. Up ahead from Brown. Mackenzie Weinert. He was in the middle there. It's going to be played square. This near side. Cantuso. Lexington trying to move Brooklyn around here. Find the gaps. And then a foul. Free kick. Kelsey Hill with the Brooklyn challenge.
Lexington being very patient right now, trying to pull Brooklyn out of the low block. The center backs and back line for Lexington were over that halfway line. Ball just being circulated around, trying to find gaps in between the Brooklyn defensive block. And they're going to have to get creative. This Brooklyn side, they're very compact once they get into their defensive shape. That's something that they've worked on all season with Tomas Tangarhinia, making it very difficult to break them down once it gets into their defensive half.
Bourgeois onto this near side. Griffith into the middle, punched away by Norris. Header by Kiki Markovic onto this near side, and Brooklyn clears. Brooklyn completely lost track of Sarah Griffith, but were able to fend off the attack anyway. The all-time series between Lexington and Brooklyn. Lexington's won 3 in a row and unbeaten in the last 6 meetings. They've outscored Brooklyn 5-0 combined in the last 3 fixtures, including a 1-0 win in Brooklyn the last time they met back at the end of March. Last time Brooklyn had beaten Lexington in the Gainbridge Super League, got to go back to December 7th, 2024. Brooklyn came here to Kentucky and won 3-0. Goal scorer in the win for Lexington back in March was Mackenzie Weinert, who was picked out there, I should say, down the far side. It was zipped in too quickly. Goes out for a throw. The only downside that day for Lexington was that Addie McCain was actually sent off in stoppage time. Other than that, all smiles amongst the Lexington contingent that day. Brooklyn's turn to try to put some pressure on Lexington in their own half. One or two loose touches in there, but Lexington do play their way through. We'll look at the flag here as it's played in behind, but it's a moot point. It rolls in for Norris.
Lexington is going to try to stretch the pitch as much as they can. This time, Addie McCain finding herself as the highest player threatening that back line, but Brooklyn doing a very good job of remaining together. So that would have been called offsides if McCain were to have touched the ball.
Thompson did well initially, then couldn't find a teammate. Scarpelli, lovely reverse ball on a Markovic. Tried to feather that through. Still a chance on here for Brooklyn in behind. Lexington do well to defend it. Now can they break up the other end? That's a lovely ball played over the top. Mackenzie Weinert is in here for Lexington and then miscues the touch. Brooklyn get enough numbers behind Weinert, hands on head. Felt she could have done more there.
And again, it's that one-time ball, this time from Daria Rajai. Addie McCain drops it off to her. Floated ball over the top, perfectly placed. And it's just that deflection off the defender for Weinert that makes it go right. Hands on her head, like you said, frustrated with that. Lexington using the transition moment to exploit the space in behind from Brooklyn there.
Introducing the LSC One membership, your season ticket to every LSC men's and women's home match in 2026. It's all in one package, and it's starting at just $21 per month. Couple shots there at some of the Lexington Ultras off to our right. It's deflected out for a Lexington throw on the near side. Barry. Good initial hold-up play, couldn't fit it through. Griffith follows up. Scarpelli checks it down. Thompson out wide. And it's a miscue touch out wide by Annie Williams that will invite some Lexington pressure. Weinert down the line. And Weinert was fouled earlier in the sequence. It's brought back for a free kick.
I thought our referee was going to play advantage there. Addie McCain had clear possession of it after Weinert was fouled, but she will call it back. Lexington going quickly there on the throw-in, trying to catch Brooklyn out of shape, and they were initially part of the reason maybe why that foul was made, trying to just crash and put numbers on Weinert.
Lisa Bourgeois will take the free kick for Lexington. Some air underneath it. It was flicked on the edge of the penalty area there. But then the whistle for the offside flag goes up and negates any further action. Marziano and some pressure there, plays it back for Norris. Lexington are coming off a 0-0 draw against Spokane 8 days ago. The last time Lexington lost at home in the Gainbridge Super League was over 2 months ago, March 8th. They lost 1-0 here to Dallas. Suffice to say, after some of the home struggles last year, this has become one of the tougher fortresses in the Gainbridge Super League this season.
And for Lexington, the opportunity for them to have a home playoff game is something that is extremely important, not only to the ladies, but to their head coach, Kosuke Kimura, as well.
For the top here, looking for Anna Markovic, and Markovic is going to get to this here. Was she tripped in the penalty area as Asman arrived on the scene? Referee did take a look over to the assistant on the far side here. We get another look as well.
Markovic just cuts in front of Stagletter there, and then Asman was just trying to shield the ball out and block any shot that could have been taken.
Based on the reactions there, obviously Brooklyn did not get the decision here, no penalty. Whether you're headed to the next match or your next road trip, step into class and experience luxury performance at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington is a proud partner of LSC. Another one of those from our angle where it was tough to tell how much contact, if any contact, came from the goalkeeper there on that Brooklyn penalty shout. That's why it was good refereeing to consult the assistant, who had a better look, and clearly they came to the consensus that it wasn't enough to point to the spot. And then a foul against Brooklyn here will alleviate the pressure. Early ball played down this far side. Mackenzie Weinert turning on the Jets to get there and keeps it in play for Lexington. And then glides down this far side byline, gets it back off a ricochet. But it's a great recovery challenge by Kiki Markovic to stop any shot attempts. Her sister Anna plays it up ahead. Great reverse ball onto this near side for the arriving Leah Scarpelli. Can Brooklyn pounce on the opportunity here? Well, Scarpelli checks it down instead. And then Thompson's cross hits a deflection. It does eventually fall for Scarpelli, but the Brooklyn chance is forced into a reset.
I would like to see Brooklyn play with a little bit more urgency to go to goal. Scarpelli had at least 2 runners in the box, and with the recovering Lexington side who was trying to get back into position, you can take advantage of that. She had time and space to take it farther up the pitch herself as well. And it really just took out any momentum that Brooklyn had in that moment. Again, they're a team that loves to capitalize off the transition moments, and we're just not seeing that urgency from them here early on in this match.
Bourgeois down this near side looking for Barry. Norris and company play around.
And we can't forget about the Mackenzie Weiner jets she turned on to get to that ball as it was going out of play. Recovers, gives herself the nutmeg there. Not on herself, but 2. And almost had an opportunity. She had that second save of the ball going out. Brooklyn thought she was offsides, but she remained on, and just not quick enough with the shot was Kat Berry there at the top of the 18.
Well, we're keeping an eye on Barry as well. Already has a single season record with 15 goals, leads the Golden Boot chase. If she scores or assists today, as Anna Markovic nearly gets in behind here on a ricochet, Barry would become the first Gainbridge Super League player in a single season to have 20 goal-scoring contributions. She's currently sitting on 19. So is Ashlyn Puerta, by the way, with Sporting Jack. So if Barry doesn't do it today, Puerta and Barry will have a chance to do it on the final day next week.
At the beginning of the season and throughout most of the year, I would say, Ashlyn Puerta was in that main hunt for a Golden Boot and has just come onto the scene as one of the youngest players in this league for Sporting Jacks and has taken over. But Kat Berry will not be denied, and in this month of April, 5 goals, 1 assist for her side.
Weinert here on the prowl for Lexington, chopping it past 2 defenders, forcing the save out of Bree Norris. Wonderful play by Weinert, but it's a better save by the Brooklyn goalkeeper.
Mackenzie Weinert is a firecracker. The way that she can speed up her runs, cut inside, and then her shot is just out of a cannon. You know that when she takes that prep touch or that plant foot down, it's going to come out of a rocket from her foot. Does just there, and a great save by Bree Norris to put that one away. That cut inside, she takes a slight touch up, and with pressure on her back, creates an opportunity. If I was Lexington and one of Mackenzie Weinert's teammates, as soon as I see her take her head up, I am crashing the box and the goalkeeper as much as I possibly can to get a deflection if it doesn't go in itself.
All Lexington corners today are brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. This is their first of the afternoon. Bourgeois prepares to take it. And whips in a pretty good ball here. But had too much bend on it in the end, and it ruffles against the side netting. West 6 Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Head to west6.com to learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Griffith for McCain, who's forced to check it back down. Rajaei, thought about probing, forced to go out to the far sideline. Game's opened up a little bit more as this first half has continued on. Distribution from Kat Asman is good. Brown. Trying to Pick out Weiner. Rosette was there on the cover. McCain again plays it back. Lexington are almost allowing Brooklyn to compress them a bit here with the pressure. This time they'll loop it over the top. Bourgeois has to chase this down. Scarpelli's going to beat her to the spot and win Brooklyn a throw.
Brooklyn is just suffocating any sort of space that Lexington could have to play in, and slowly gaining ground up the pitch, higher up the field, to try to win the ball and then go to goal there for Brooklyn. And it's working. They're frustrating Lexington. They're not really allowing them to build out how they would like to. Lexington with more possession right now from Brooklyn, percentage-wise, but it's mostly in their back half.
This time Ana Markovic is fouled. It's a free kick for Brooklyn. Ana will run that off. Garziano trying to flare that forward. Does have 5 assists in the Gainbridge Super League this season, Jess Garziano, but has not scored. I think that might be the more surprising of those two stats, as a foul's going to go against Brooklyn here. Just a talking to for Annie Williams. I'm sure 1 or 2 Lexington chirps out there saying, well, why didn't you let Mackenzie Weiner get a talking to instead of an early yellow card? It was a similar challenge in almost the exact same part of the field.
In the addition to that foul right there for Williams was she kicked the ball away, which is normally a clear sign of a little bit more than a talking to from your referee.
Referees have been told to crack down on those time-wasting moments more and more. Half an hour gone here in Kentucky. If the result holds, Sporting Club Jacksonville would be your Players' Shield winners, and they'd be the #1 seed in the upcoming Gainbridge Super League playoffs. Which means, as long as they're in the tournament, they have home field advantage. A goal from Lexington, of course, would change that.
Lexington right now only has 1 shot in this half. Brooklyn doing their job in frustrating them, not allowing them to really creep over that midfield line. And something that Kosuke Kimura told us was that his team he doesn't want his team to be studied. However, teams are picking up on cues that Lexington plays with. They want to build out of the back. Well, teams are going to press them a little bit higher up the pitch. That doesn't mean they're going to change the way that they play, but it means they're going to have to adjust to that pressure when they are in their back half. Right now, they haven't conceded many shots either to Brooklyn, only 2 on the Brooklyn side, none on target for them. But it is frustrating for a Lexington side who normally has a few more shots and at least opportunities on goal. Right now, the only true one is that Mackenzie Weiner shot.
Lovely ball in behind here. Alyssa Bourgeois has options here for Lexington. Lets it roll to the byline. Lays it off to the edge of the area. Oh, what a save by Norris. It was a magnificent first-time hit by Addie McCain. Better save from Bree Norris, her second big save of the half.
This ball just cut back to McCain. That ball curling towards that far post. A fantastic save with 1 arm is Bree Norris, keeping Brooklyn even here with Lexington.
That was even better than the last one for Bree Norris. It's a Commonwealth Credit Union corner. Bourgeois trots over to take it. Markovich tracks over to make sure Lexington don't take this short. Bourgeois whips it to the edge of the 6 here, maybe a little nudge in the back. McCain chops it to the edge of the area, but Brooklyn clears it. One thing we should mention as well, and Tomas Tingahinia, the Brooklyn coach, made a good point on this, is that, yes, Brooklyn are out. They have nothing left to play for. But he said, listen, we want to get some players time that have earned it with their effort and their ability that we've seen in training and from other games earlier in the season. And Brooklyn are still playing for next season as well, whether players are going to stick around here or maybe go elsewhere. You want to leave a good impression individually and as a group going into that off-season upcoming where, as we've seen in the Gainbridge Super League, there could be turnover. You never know. So Brooklyn want to show and put their best foot forward to show well here, not just today, but of course next week as well when they go to Spokane.
He has always maintained to us that the training environment has stayed competitive this entire season, and those subs or game changers that step onto the pitch for him, they need no motivation because they push each other every single day on the pitch. And those players you're seeing starting the match today are some of those from the training ground that don't get the minutes necessarily throughout the season, but have worked hard continuously to create that competitive environment and push the starters who we normally see. And it's not easy to show up every day and not get the minutes that you want, or maybe some players feel like they deserve just because of production on the training ground. But to continue to show up and continue to improve and make the 11 better on the field every day is so important in a team environment. You need that. Whether you're an everyday 90-minute player or sparing minutes here and there or no minutes at all, when you come into those training grounds and that training environment, you want to push the players in front of you every single day. That's what creates that culture of competitiveness and success ultimately on the pitch.
Bree Norris was way off her line there, being almost an 11th outfield player to help Brooklyn play through, but eventually Lexington get back on it. Barry gets past here. Catherine Barry's in here for Lexington, can make some history. Oh, but Norris thwarts her. Another fabulous save from Bree Norris at point-blank range. It's out for another Lexington corner.
Barry does a good job of just being physical, and then I'm surprised she didn't take a farther touch in towards the central part of the 18. She does not give herself the best angle here. Bree Norris's job, cover that front post, but make yourself big. Kat Barry looks like her shot was going towards that near post. Norris comes up massive once again in a 1v1 situation with the Leeds goal scorer.
Commonwealth Credit Union corner, Bourgeois. Right at Norris, good catch in traffic with McCain bearing down on her. Well, Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, as always, is the player's choice. Griffith. Still Griffith blocked. And Scarpelli helps to get Brooklyn stabilized again. Despite some good defending from Brooklyn in this first half, where would they be without Bree Norris? The last two saves in particular have been top class. Williams. Probing here for Brooklyn, and then gives it away to Lexington. McCain for Barry. Barry is swarmed here by Rosette and company, and then pushes past all of them down the far side. Just put a little too much on that touch, and it's a throw-in. Oh, Rosette gives it right back to Lexington. And then a key touch there. Childers allows Brooklyn to avoid a tough situation there.
That was a veteran move by Steigletter there to evade the pressure from Markovic, just open up space for herself to play and face forward.
And Tuso plays it square. Out wide for Ali Brown. Mackenzie Weiner. Brown played it square. More lovely build-up here from Lexington. It's Griffith. Numbers either side here. Griffith goes through the middle. Key touch from the veteran Rosette. One back by Barry. Lovely touch by McCain. Slides it through, and there's the opener. That was silky smooth from Lexington. And for the second time in as many meetings, Mackenzie Weinert applies the finishing touch for Lexington against Brooklyn and breaks the deadlock. It could be a goal that keeps Lexington firmly in the Players' Shield race and gives them a 1-0 lead.
And you felt it coming if you're Mackenzie Weinert. McCain picks this ball up, uses the transition. Weinert one time takes her head up. You see the slight look up just to check where Bree Norris was, see if she stayed on sides. That one pass by McCain beats all of the defenders for Brooklyn. And Weinert, what a fantastic finish. Far post, uses a little help from the inside touch of the post to put it in. And again, another goal contribution from Mackenzie Weinert, her 9th of the season. She has worked tirelessly in this match down that left flank, pushing the pace and creating opportunities for herself, and gets one on the score sheet for Lexington.
You mentioned it, 9 league goals for Weinert, 3rd assist of the season for Addie McCain. And you see there, when Lexington have managed to score first in the Gainbridge Super League this season, they've never lost, 12 wins, only 3 draws as well. They've just been nearly unstoppable this campaign when they get the first goal on the board. They've done so again today. They've had to work hard for it, Lexington, but they do finally break the deadlock.
And like you said, they've worked hard for it today, and coming down to these final 5+ minutes of this first half, they needed something to go into the locker room with a little bit more confidence because they've had opportunities, just couldn't convert.
Bourgeois into the middle. Oh, and it's redirected just wide. McCain, lovely technique. Just could not put it on the frame.
Lexington going to stay in the box here. Bourgeois perfectly times this ball up with McCain's run. Inside of Rosette, just doesn't get the touch exactly right on it. And that's your midfielder now taking her position in the box a little bit higher up. Kat Berry was shifted out wide, so Addie McCain will take that role centrally.
This is looped back over the top. Norris was there, but slipped. She smiles about it, able to hold on there for Brooklyn. Well, 3 teams have punched their ticket into the Gainbridge Super League playoffs, but the season is far from over. Stay up to date on all the latest info, analysis, and insight. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. Good pressure here, Kiki Markovic. And then couldn't thread the needle in behind. And Lexington are let off the hook. Again, that goal is so massive from Lexington's point of view. Puts them firmly back into second place. And again, gets them back within 3 points of Sporting Jacks in the Players' Shield race. So if this result holds, it would go down to the final day. Lovely ball in behind, Bourgeois. In behind for Barry! It's as simple as that! 16 league goals for Kat Barry. She's the first player in Gainbridge Super League history to reach 20 goal contributions in a single campaign. And Lexington are 2-0 up with another fabulous team goal.
And they just continued from their build-up. This ball, first off from Sarah Griffith through the midfield, just splitting the back line of Brooklyn, taking pressure, deceptive pass through. Bourgeois used her speed. First time pass over to Barry, who is in between the center backs for Brooklyn, and slots it home. Kat Barry doing Kat Barry things, barely holds her run on side, and puts it away for Lexington. What a change from the first minutes of this half where it was 0-0. Lexington trying to figure out how to score and break the compact shape of Brooklyn. But Weiner and Barry have changed this game.
Another ball over the top here. Lexington could be in again. It's Weiner! Oh, it's fabulous! What a finish from Mackenzie Weiner. It's an avalanche of Lexington goals here at the end of the half. 2 for Weiner, sandwiching in the Barry finish. And in the blink of an eye, Lexington lead 3-0. That's what they can do.
It is exactly what they can do. Once again, Sarah Griffith a part of this one. Weiner off the backside of the back line. Nobody sees her outside of her right foot. Just slots it home. What a finish by Mackenzie Weiner. Again, using that inside of the post from her first goal to make sure that one is inside. Clinical finish by Mackenzie Weiner. And right now, when it rains, it pours goals for Lexington.
Weiner into double-digit goals this season with 10. And Lexington have scored 2 in the last 2 minutes, 3 in the last 6 minutes. And we're into 2 added minutes with Lexington all of a sudden 3-0 up.
Number 11, Mackenzie Weiner.
Well, that's how quickly Kosuke Komura's group can put you to the sword in the Gainbridge Super League. How impressive of a stretch was that?
Extremely. That's exactly what this Lexington team is capable of. They're going to capitalize and just continue to build off of the moments from one another.
It's going to be a foul, free kick. Barry brought down. And Williams, who got out of a yellow card earlier, is not going to escape one this time.
A Hickson Bunsen yellow card has been issued by the referee to Brooklyn FC's number 55, Amy Williams. LSC fans, you know what to do. Hold up those yellow cards.
Our great producer, Maria, just told us when Lexington has scored first this season, they've outscored their opponents by 30 goals, 43-13. Nearly another one there from Weinert, who's on a first half hat trick. You just simply cannot let Lexington get out in front. They're gonna run away from you quickly. And that, I believe, is gonna be the last act of the half here in Kentucky. 3 goals in the final 6 minutes plus stoppage time, and Lexington, in a flash here, have taken a 3-0 lead into the break.
For LSC
Lexington just proved why they are one of the teams to beat here, going down to the playoff push in the Gainbridge Super League. Not a ton of opportunities early on in this half, but when they've needed to put themselves ahead, they have decisively with clinical finishes from the midfield, using their build-up, passes through the back line, decisive runs off the outside parts of the back line for Brooklyn. And then defensively, they've been very steady there for with their past 4, 5, or 6 defenders in the back.
It was just as we were giving Brooklyn credit as well for going toe-to-toe in the first 38 minutes of this game. They kept it very tight overall. Big saves from Bree Norris kept us at a 0-0 scoreline, but that's how quickly things can change with this really impressive Lexington outfit. 1 goal turns into 2, 2 into 3 in next to no time, and that's why Lexington have a very impressive lead to work with at the halftime break. Well, we're joined pitch side by one of the first half standouts, Mackenzie Weiner. 2 goals in the first half. Mackenzie, thanks so much for joining us. That happened very quickly at the end of the first half. Can you take us through what was a really impressive last few moments there for you and the group?
Yeah, I think we just got the ball in the right spots and we had the correct runs, and we were really clinical, so we got 3 goals in really quick succession, which is great.
Going into this next 45, how do you keep your foot on the gas pedal and really close this game out?
Yeah, I think just keep attacking them, be on the front foot, make sure we're solid defensively and that we can attack them, and then our subs are going to be so important to finish out the game.
We saw you going for that last play before the halftime whistle. Are you looking for that 3rd goal? Is the hat trick on the table?
Always looking for it.
Mackenzie, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you, and happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Love that from Mackenzie Weiner on a hat trick here on Mother's Day in the first half in the Gainbridge Super League. Lexington, not a 1-2 punch, a 1-2-3 punch in those first 45 minutes. They lead Brooklyn by 3-0 at the half. We'll have plenty coming up from around the league at the half here on Peacock.
Sporting Club Jacksonville, what a magical run it's been in their inaugural season.
Unbelievable! Lexington have doubled!
Carolina ascent on top.
Tremendous team goal for Power FC. Goes in on the scoreboard in a very important game for playoff positioning.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Lexington, start your engines. It's match day. Genesis of Lexington is proud to partner with Lexington Sporting Club, delivering craftsmanship, performance, and premium experience on and off the field. From kickoff to final whistle, we're investing back in the community that fuels this club. Ready to make your next move? Step into class and experience luxury evolve at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington. Drive the difference.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion
turns into answers. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise,
Wind up effort. Oh my goodness!
the energy.
It is Firmino.
90 minutes where nothing else matters.
How about a debut goal for Lexington?
It's the year of the horse. Our year.
Eps inside. Benton!
Be there when it happens.
Welcome back at the half here. Gainbridge Super League action here on Peacock. Happy Mother's Day as well, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette here with you. 3-0 Lexington leading Brooklyn at the half. Trying to keep pace with Sporting Club Jacksonville, who've had a wonderful season so far. That race for the Players' Shield, if it stays like this, will go down to the final games next weekend in the Gainbridge Super League. And we've seen a little bit of Kat Asman in this first half as well, tying and trying to keep pace with Caitlin Parks. That goalkeeper battle is going to be interesting going into the final weekend as well. We do know that the race for the final playoff spot will go to the final weekend. It's Dallas, it's Spokane. Whoever can better the other team's result will get the fourth and final playoff spot. Part of that, Jay, is because of all the crazy action we've had so far this week in the Gainbridge Super League. Jacksonville's big win over DC, Spokane's big win over DC, Dallas and Carolina winners yesterday as well.
And Dallas needed to have all 3 points there to keep their playoff hopes alive. That game ended before the DC Spokane game, so DC knew that they were out of the playoff push, but that game between Spokane and DC did not feel like one was eliminated. DC played fantastic into Spokane's side, but Emma Jaskinek ultimately punched their ticket.
Key goal from Emma Jaskinek to keep Spokane alive in the playoff chase. Can't wait to see how it all unfolds next week. Big second half coming up here as well in Kentucky. Lexington in control for now. We'll have highlights and stats coming up after the break. Sean and Jade back here with you on Peacock. First half highlights between Lexington and Brooklyn in the Gainbridge Super League. We start with the opening goal from Mackenzie Weiner.
It was Addie McCain who eventually picks this ball up, and Weiner will not be denied, uses her right foot, the inside part, just to blast this ball into the net. And it wouldn't be long before they capitalize again. This time Sarah Griffith taking pressure from behind. It's this inside touches that gets Scarpelli looking to the outside and then slips that ball in between her and the defender for Bourgeois to come onto. And Kat Berry will have no problem slotting that one home, making history today in the Gainbridge Super League. But Mackenzie Weiner wasn't done here in this first half. Once again, Sarah Griffith plays this ball over the top. Weiner just threatening on the back line. Nobody sees her, and like deja vu, uses the post once again to make sure this one goes home. This time it was the outside of her boot she uses. A classy finish for Mackenzie Weiner.
Now up to 10 goals in this Gainbridge Super League season. Lexington in good shape at the half. They lead by 3-0. We'll come on back after that, and we'll have the second half here on Peacock. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew. Great to have you with us. Lexington leading 3-0 over Brooklyn in the Gainbridge Super League on this Mother's Day Sunday afternoon in Lexington, Kentucky. Fabulous finish to the second half from Lexington Sporting Club. 3 goals in about a 6-minute period. Saw it go from 0-0 to 3-0 in very, very quick time. And Tomas Tingahinha for Brooklyn is going to make a couple of changes at the start of the second half. Sam Kroger and Emma Loving both come in. Sam Rosette and Annie Williams making way. Williams was on a yellow card. Sam Kroger could make history here. Look at the Golden Playmaker race. A tie on 7 assists. No player's ever had 8 in a Gainbridge Super League season. She could set that record this afternoon.
She has been instrumental in Brooklyn's goal contributions and goals scored this season. She's been injured for some of it, so hasn't been able to play all season. However, when she's on the pitch, she really is a game changer for Brooklyn and looking to make history today.
And of course, we've already made history. Kat Berry scoring in the first half becomes the first player in league history to have 20 goal-scoring contributions in a single season and has extended her single-season goal record to 16 as it stands right now. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette again here with you. Lexington Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. A happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. Lexington leading 3-0 over Brooklyn. If it holds, Lexington jumps back into second place just ahead of Carolina Ascent and keeps the pressure on Sporting Jacks going into the final day of the regular season in pursuit of the Players' Shield. 2 goals from Mackenzie Weinert. She's on a hat trick. Kat Berry scoring the other and making history, as we mentioned earlier.
We're continuing with history as well with the Markovich sisters still on the pitch together.
Good call. Absolutely.
The first time we've had a sibling duo playing together. They started this match and continue to be on the pitch together into the second.
We mentioned a happy Mother's Day, of course, to all the moms out there, including our moms. We have to give a special shout out to our producer, Maria, as well. It's her birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Maria.
So happy birthday, Maria. She's been giving us great stats, not just today, but throughout the entirety of the season. So a very big happy birthday to her. Does that come off an arm there? It does fall kindly for Emma Loving. And Jess Garziano tries to lead the Brooklyn charge here. Lays it off for Leah Scarpelli. That takes a deflection. Popped up into the air by Asman, who then corrals it off what could have been a very awkward moment.
And that shot did ricochet. Come off the field if there is any sort of head injury, not even injury, but head with the ball unintentionally. And Rajai will step right back on the pitch. And she's been a recent-ish addition, the most recent addition to this Lexington side. And Daria Rajai and head coach Kosei Kimura just told us that she is a fantastic person both on and off the field, and she understands the game so well. She creates a calming presence in the midfield, never panics when there's chaos. You can tell in the way that she plays. Very calm, cool, and collected, always checking her shoulder, trying to find those best spots on the pitch, the pockets of space to sit in. She'll come down and play in between the center backs to create a little bit more expansive shape for the back line, and she'll pop out wide as well, just to interchange positions too.
Good pressure defensively there from Kelsey Hill. Anna Markovich put more pressure on, but Lexington does recover it. Trying to reset in their own 18 here. Up ahead for Berry. Good ball onto this near side, plays in Mackenzie Weiner. Ajayi collects herself to nudge it forward for Bourgeois. And that ball that's sort of dinked over the top here. I think the referee's going to call offside here.
Rajayi continues with the play, finds Bourgeois. And then the tiny spaces that Lexington is playing in right now, this ball flicked over to Kat Berry and barely offsides there. Brooklyn lucky that that wasn't called a foul, very close to being in the 18. It looked like it was right on the edge outside of it, but too close for comfort there for Brooklyn.
McCain comes back to get it. Played onto the near side for Brown and company. Garziano's pressure. Nice take there by Griffith, who's had a very good game so far for Lexington. Bourgeois. Infield, Rajayi. And the patience paying off for Lexington. They're finding more space to maneuver in here. Weinert lays it off for Brown. Rajayi on the turn. Couldn't quite catch up to the ball. Hold up play by Sophia Lewis. Kroger in the charge here. Kiki Markovic. Did have Emma Loving available. Plays out to the far side instead. But then the offside flag goes up and the Brooklyn attack fizzles out. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Little Kickers, nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions are now live. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth today. Referee waves advantage here for Lexington. Weiner for McCain. Lovely touch. Brown. Up ahead for Griffith. Now Weiner chases it down. And then tried to scoop it past the defender. Brooklyn stand tall this time. But are still under pressure here. Loving loses out to Griffith. Griffith into the middle, headed away. Garziano helps to get Brooklyn out of harm's way. Key defensive intervention there to keep Brooklyn, well, semi-afloat here.
Sarah Griffith has been a part of each and every goal that Lexington has scored today, whether she's fighting off pressure and it's the second ball before the assist that she's playing, or just there, just tirelessly working to win the ball back. Drives a lot of the effort and energy for this Lexington side. She'll play in the midfield, but finds herself up top. Ever-changing rotation of players on this Lexington side. And Sarah Griffith has been a key piece of why they've been successful today.
She has 8 goal-scoring contributions this season, 4 goals and 4 assists for Sarah Griffith. Here's Griffith again. Feathers it out to that far side. Bourgeois. Lexington on the prowl again here. Ulmer lets the shot fly. And it is well wide. Norris will put this back into play. Made some huge saves when the game was still at 0-0 for those just joining us, and then, well, it just became a Lexington avalanche of attacking play that led to the 3 goals at the end of the half. Goals came in the 39th, the 44th, and the 45th minute. Of course, with Kosuke Kimura, and remembering your interview with Alicia Bourgeois on game week as well. Both of them talked about how Lexington just seemingly have a lot of different answers to different problems that they're posed with throughout games. That end of the first half, which is carried over to a certain extent in the second half, felt like a great example of that. Brooklyn were giving them a lot of different issues defensively to cope with, and through patience, persistence, and of course some quality, they were able to answer those questions with some pretty resounding answers.
This is a team that Alicia Bourgeois told Brooke Kirchhoffer and I on our Game Week podcast that you mentioned, that they know exactly what their jobs are on all parts of the pitch in so many different type of scenarios. And when we talked to Kosuke Kimura, he said that he gives his team a plethora of solutions for problems like they've seen today with the pressure of Brooklyn, but they have ultimately had the decisions to fix them on the pitch, and they did just that.
Lexington will make 2 changes here. Tati Fung and Hannah Johnson enter. Dara Rajai and Mackenzie Weinert are going to make way here. Weinert will end the day on just the 2 goals. But she had a fabulous performance. There's no questions about that. We were talking earlier, the Lexington starting 11, pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. You still have the likes of Tati Fung and others coming off the bench, showing you also the depth that Lex Sporting Club has.
It's incredible, and when you have weapons like that that can boost a team off the bench, you're forced to be reckoned with. For Lexington, they also have Hannah Schartz still on the bench too, a key piece in their back line, and has her own little set piece with her long throw as well that they've used a ton to create scoring opportunities off of too.
Tiptoeing the touchline there was Hannah Johnson. Lexington settles for the throw. Good pressure from Lewis. Brooklyn going to make a couple of changes here as well. Jennifer Cujo will come in. Kiki Markovic. And then Hope Breslin is going to come in for Rylan Childers. That leaves Tomas Tingahinia with just 1 change left.
We still have not seen Rebecca Cook here enter the match for Brooklyn, their team leader in goals. We're seeing a few more of those starting players come back on the pitch, and Hope Breslin and Cujo as well.
Barry does well here, so nicely done between a couple of challenges there. Bourgeois, he's going to be sandwiched and fouled there for a Lexington free kick. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Head to west6th.com to learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Kroger and Brooklyn recover it as we reach an hour mark here in Lexington. If it holds, Lexington will jump back into second place in the Gainbridge Super League table. They'll take the race for the Players' Shield down to the final day, and they'll have the inside track on Carolina for the number 2 seed in the upcoming Gainbridge Super League playoffs. So the race for the Players' Shield and the race for the final playoff spot would both go down to the final day, and frankly, that'd be just the way we like it, particularly from a neutral's point of view.
We live for chaos, don't we? Just a little bit. Not in our own lives, maybe, but you love all of it to shake up and the competitiveness between all of these teams. We've seen it all season. You knew it could potentially come down to the final weekend, potentially even the final game for Dallas's opportunity to get into the playoffs. What more could you ask for from a fan and a neutral standpoint, like you said?
Who doesn't love a little sprinkling of drama,
right,
on the final day?
Just a little bit.
It's going to go out for a throw-in on the far side. We mentioned it, Brooklyn could also play a massive role on the final day. They go to Spokane. That's the first game of the day on the final day. If they were to win that game, they would knock Spokane out. Spokane Zephyr really have to win that game and then hope that Dallas were to drop points in the last game of the day on the final day. Trinity will host Fort Lauderdale. All those games, just like this one on the final day, will be right here on Peacock. Decent ball played across there by Emma Loving. Kat Asman is there to collect for Lexington. Lexington on the final day will be here. They will host the outgoing champions, Tampa Bay Sun. In a game they know that if they win, they could have a chance to win the Players' Shield. As long as this result, of course, holds up.
That save that Kat Asman just made was her first save of this match. So have not been called on at all, really, in this game. Lexington doing a good job of keeping it away from their 18 and their goalkeeper.
A player down here for Brooklyn. Rosiano back up as we look at the last sequence here.
That's one of those awkward fouls where Griffith was going for the ball to try to pass it, and then Garziano was trying to come back and defend, and they both ended up kicking the ground there, it seems.
That's a foul and a free kick for Brooklyn. One or two Brooklyn questions over a yellow card here, and that's exactly what comes out. So Sarah Griffith receives a yellow card for this challenge.
Number 10, Rebecca Cook replaces number 11, Sophia Lewis.
Yellow cards are brought to you by Hickson Funson. As we had anticipated, Tomas Tingahina is going to use his last change, and he will bring in Team's leading goal scorer, Rebecca Cook, to replace Sophia Lewis. Cook has 11 goal-scoring contributions this season and has had the best goal-scoring output we've seen so far in Brooklyn's short history in the Gainbridge Super League.
8 goals to her name. It's a club single-season record for Rebecca Cook here. And she'll look to make an impact in the last 30-ish minutes of this game, depending on what stoppage looks like.
Certainly could be a player that comes in and helps to change the tide for Brooklyn. We've seen her do it before. It's been a couple of times over this year and last year in the Gainbridge Super League where Brooklyn's been down 1 goal, multiple goals, and Rebecca Cook has helped to lead them back to get results. Hasn't happened yet for Brooklyn, but a vast majority of their goals have come in the second 45 this season. Bringing Rebecca Cook on could help to maybe reignite this Brooklyn team.
Yeah, 25 out of the 30 goals that they have scored this season, all coming in the second half of play. A team that's going to fight till the very end, till the final whistle is blown. And there's still time in this match, especially with more of the starting crew back on the field together, who's played together more than the ones who started earlier. You never know what can happen in this Brooklyn side.
One thing we should mention is outside of those 6 minutes where Lexington scored all the goals, Brooklyn have just about gone toe-to-toe with Lexington here. In that regard, you could argue the score is a little bit harsh on Brooklyn. As we talked with Mackenzie Weinert at the half, she mentioned it. Just expert finishing and expert play to lead to the goal scoring. The last 2 goals in particular were just excellent team goals, worked all the way around. But here's Emma Loving, stinging the palms in the end of Asman. It's a Brooklyn corner.
And I liked this ball from Rebecca Cook, just feeding Loving, who's wide open there on the outside. I'm not sure if she meant to shoot this, probably meaning for more of a cross, but honestly, I like the directness with which she goes right at Asman, makes her make a save, parries that one over the bar, and Kroger has an opportunity here to set up her teammates.
Kroger to deliver. Kroger's ball in is headed in. And Brooklyn are right back in it. Guess who? Rebecca Cook leads the Brooklyn celebrations. And I believe that's going to be an assist for Sam Kroger, her 8th. That sets a league record. And in a flash, Brooklyn have a lifeline. It's 3-1.
That's the impact Rebecca Cook and Sam Kroger can have. This ball beautifully whipped in swinging. All Cook has to do is just get up and redirect this ball. A ton of players around her and a little bit of contact in the box with Griffith. But it does not matter. Rebecca Cook sends that one home, stunning this Lexington side. And Sam Kroger making history now with 9 assists. 8 assists, excuse me. In Gainbridge Super League. And Rebecca Cook records her 9th goal of the season.
It's turning in to be quite the historic afternoon for both teams in the Gainbridge Super League. And there's still 20 minutes of normal time left. All of a sudden, Brooklyn feel like they might just be back in this.
We just mentioned that 25, now 26 of their 31 now goals have come in the second half. This is a Brooklyn team that is not going to quit. They're not going to back down. You see them continuing to pin Lexington back, put the pressure on their back, 5 or 6, making Kat Berry work all the way back into her own defensive half.
It's played up ahead by Berry. Good recovery by Kroger and company for Brooklyn. 20 minutes to try and score 2 more here. Good pressure here from Lexington, a shirt pull in there as well. Should the referee maybe have allowed advantage to play out there? In the end, Breslin commits the foul. No yellow card for the shirt pull there. Well, what a moment for Sam Kroger. 8th assist this season. That's the new single season record in the Gainbridge Super League. I must add, at least for now, there's still 1 more week left, and there's a few players in Sporting Jacks that feel that maybe they could still make their own mark. But still, that's a wonderful moment, a historic moment for Kroger, for Brooklyn, and for the league. Lexington could be in here. McCain may have been offside.
Brooklyn taking a risk there, not continuing the play when Addie McCain slipped through their back line. As a defender, you're always told to continue the play no matter what until the whistle is called, regardless of if you think it is offsides or not. Brooklyn did not continue running there for Addie McCain. The flag was up, though.
Another chance here for Lexington. It's played square for McCain. Tati Fung. Helped along by Almer. Joie checks it down. Almer comes back to get it. Fung. Up ahead, McCain. The near side, it was crossed into the middle by Johnson. Griffith tries to track it down. Not a good clearance by Norris. But it deflects kindly into Brooklyn's path. Now they look to break here. Loving switches the point of the attack. Rebecca Cook took on too many defenders, loses the ball. And then the ball is errant onto this near side, inviting a little bit more Brooklyn pressure. Now Lexington do have to regather themselves here. Long way to go. Anna Markovic maybe gets the worst of that challenge in behind. Lexington make 2 changes here. Amber Wynn is going to come in for Sarah Griffith. That gets a yellow card off the ledger for Lexington. And then Hannah White is going to come in for Kat Berry. A historic afternoon for Berry. She extends her lead in the Golden Boot chase and becomes the first player ever to have 20 goal-scoring contributions in a Gainbridge Super League season.
What a season for Kat Berry up to this point, and what a way to put her team ahead at this point. This was the 2nd goal that Lexington scored today, and she had a few opportunities, but not too many to count, and that one she does. Extends her lead in the Golden Boot race and puts herself in prime position for the Player of the Year award.
Who knows, that could be the goal that maybe seals the Golden Boot. Who knows? Still a game to go for Sporting Jacks next week. They'll go to Carolina. A 4-goal cushion certainly puts Kat Berry in the box seat for that. And, like you said, Jade, maybe for the player of the season as well. Norris for Kroger. You can just see a difference as far as confidence right now in Brooklyn, not just off the back of the goal, but off the back of the personnel that are now on the pitch. That comes up short. Good anticipation by Brown. Johnson and company trying to move it forward. Brown stayed with it, but it ricochets out of play. Gainbridge Super League will be back in action on Saturday, May 16th, final day of the regular season. Lexington SC Stadium will have fan appreciation matches presented by Gainbridge. Tickets to the match are free and can be redeemed at lexsporting.com/tickets. Be sure to arrive early. The first 500 fans receive a playoff hype t-shirt.
Wow.
Courtesy of Gainbridge. Remember, Lexington will be playing Tampa Bay to finish the regular season out. And again, I should add this in, if this score holds, Lexington will be playing for the Shield next week. They'll need to win. They'll need to hope that Jacksonville loses. But still got to negotiate the next 15 minutes.
Game is not over.
Not by a long shot.
I also would like to see what those t-shirts look like from Gainbridge.
I'd imagine they're pretty darn nice.
I bet they're pretty swaggy myself.
McCain tried to play it early up ahead for White, and White does eventually get it for Lexington here, who have numbers if they hurry. Played out wide, Bourgeois. Shot is deflected, does it come off a hand? No, it's gonna be a Commonwealth Credit Union corner for Lexington on the far side. And Scarpelli might need a moment here off the ricochet.
Alyssa Bourgeois just streaking up that far side. Try to help out her team, gets the deflection off of Scarps. And again, Lexington has really been using the transition moments to their advantage. I'm surprised they didn't go more direct at goal there. They had the numbers and opportunity to.
Bourgeois lines it up. It's towards Almer, who flicks on the header. Brooklyn eventually get it clear. They won't win the initial foot race, but here comes Cook. Striding into the attack here for Brooklyn. There are numbers over here. Cook plays in Kroger. And then Kroger is swarmed on the edge of the area. Lexington wins it back. Very important moment there defensively.
You said it perfectly in the word swarm. The Lexington players just attracted immediately to the ball, especially when Kroger entered the 18. You want to deny any opportunity to get a shot off. Lexington did just that.
Can Lexington put this game away? Or can Brooklyn use the last 12 minutes to make a statement here? Garziano with a pile driver. Asman parries it away. Corner upcoming.
Once again, another corner kick coming up for Brooklyn. But Jess, just taking her time, realizes that she has time and space to take the shot. Why not rip it outside of the 18? No one really stepping to close down any space, and she's going to take that one. She's taken a lot of shots from outside of the box this year for Brooklyn. And an opportunity where they need to create more chances for themselves. Again, having Kat Asman make a save there gives them this corner kick.
Kroger lines this one up. Whips it into the middle. It's headed high into the air. A foul is committed here. And it'll be a Lexington free kick. White thought she may have been away there for Lexington. Referee says she commits a foul. It's a free kick.
looked like there was an elbow into Scarps' side there. Could not see it from the other side with our angle again, but Leah Scarpelli has taken a lot of punches from this Lexington side in this match today, but that's what she does for this Brooklyn side. I said it from the top that, you know, Leah Scarpelli emphasizes all that Brooklyn is in their blue-collar mentality, and she's shown it today.
Lexington make a change. We mentioned Hannah Schartz earlier, key cog in this defensive unit for Lexington. Replaces Reagan Steigletter. Last change for Lexington, trying to assure this 3-1 lead up. Still a very important 9 minutes plus stoppage time for Lexington to see through here, to secure the victory and keep themselves in the Players' Shield race going into next week. Brooklyn felt that was a clean challenge from Emma Loving here. Referee says one more and that might be a yellow. Wynn was fouled. That's a misplaced pass, looking for Bourgeois. Back to Brooklyn, who if they score one more could make this very interesting.
And a little bit lax right now from this Lexington side. Kat Asman not making a decision until Brooklyn attackers were running at her. And then that one went out of bounds when she eventually had to get the ball off of her foot. Lexington cannot be satisfied with this 3-1 lead. Brooklyn is still knocking on the door.
It's going to be whipped into the penalty area by Thompson, caught by Asman. Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. Interesting moment here. Kat Asman takes too long to get rid of the ball here. And you know what that means. The new rule says that's a corner for the opposition. So Brooklyn, on a silver platter here, are handed a set-piece opportunity. And with Kroger in the game, that's a big, big deal. That's how Brooklyn scored earlier in the half. Kroger fizzes that in there. Lexington cleared only as far as Garziano, who whips in a good ball. Another critical Lexington header. Back out for another Brooklyn corner.
Brooklyn had a lot of options for that second ball. Scarpelli was off of the wall. It would have been an option for Garziano to play in as well. I love that ball lifted to the back post. You want Rebecca Cook to put her head on it if you can. They'll look for her as a target on this side.
Another corner towards Thompson. It's poked around. Oh, it was blocked off the line. What a chance. It was Kelsey Hill. Oh, and then I think the referee's pointing for a penalty. Brooklyn have a spot kick on the back end of it. Goodness gracious.
Beautiful ball floated in. Nobody could really get it away. Asman tried. Pantuso can't believe it. Rebecca Cook draws the PK. Brooklyn is the only team in the league that has not taken a PK this season. This will be their first of the year.
Well, Lexington will feel incredibly hard done by with that decision. That looked like Cook just kicked out and tried to draw the contact. Brooklyn will feel justified because, like you said, Jade, they haven't had a penalty this season. And Rebecca Cook has a chance here to get Brooklyn within 1 with 5 minutes left. Cook scored the first goal to get Brooklyn a pulse. Trying to convert to get her 10th league goal of the season, but Kat Asman stands in her way. Rebecca Cook, oh, Asman saves the penalty! What a massive penalty stop from Kat Asman to keep Lexington up by 2. And now Lexington will feel justified.
We'll take a look at the foul. They will definitely feel justified. Long run up from Cook, tries to place it on that right corner, and Kat Asman, a massive save. One of the biggest of probably her season, not necessarily for implications, but because of momentum for her side. Her team needed her to make this save. Questionable call for the penalty kick, and then just steps up, reads it the whole way, extends fully. And what a reaction, what a way to fire up your team, give them some confidence going into these last 5 minutes where it's been all Brooklyn here.
You talk about coming up clutch in the middle of a Players' Shield race. Kat Asman may have hurt herself in the process here. Of course, she's in the mix for the Golden Glove as well, currently leading the goals against average race in that competition, entering Week 30's action. But on top of that, goalkeepers are in such a tough spot when it comes to spot kicks. The advantage is always with the taker in those moments. That is as clutch of a save as you'll see in the regular season of the Gainbridge Super League.
You see she tops the league in goals against average. It is hard to score on Kat Asman. Even when it's just 1v1 right there, she makes it hard for the forward.
And remember, Lexington are not out of the woods yet here. This leads to another corner. Kroger takes it short. Still time and space here for Kroger. And Asman completes a wonderful sequence with yet another stop.
And finally, Lexington gets out of the 3 corner kicks in a PK sequence there, where Brooklyn had so many opportunities to score, put one back on to get them within 1. And Lexington, honestly, somehow comes out of it unscathed.
Here come Lexington down the near side with Johnson. Trying to put a ribbon on proceedings here. Johnson linking up with McCain. And then in the end, Fung dispossessed. It's played back for Bree Norris, who's able to find Kroger on the outlet. 1.5 minutes left plus stoppage time here in Kentucky. Up ahead for Cook. It's last off Cook. Good defending by Pantuso, of course, gave away the penalty. On the irony of Brooklyn finally winning a penalty and then they can't convert it as well. So many storylines just surrounding that one moment in a game packed full of twists and turns and storylines and, yes, historic moments as well.
And Sean, in this second half, it's really been all Brooklyn. They've had 7 shots to Lexington's 2. Brooklyn 5 shots on target, Lexington none. The possession still favors Lexington here in the second 45, but Brooklyn has had a lot more opportunities here in the second 45. Lexington, yes, scoring those 3 goals in the end of the first half, but nothing really here in the second 45.
Thompson gives it away. McCain doesn't push the issue. Allows Lexington to keep the ball, maybe use a few extra seconds off the clock. We're into 3 added minutes at the end of the 90. This bounces over the top. White with the header. And then it's a lovely take here by Hannah Johnson, whose shot flies over the top. Sent upfield by Norris. It's going to be a Brooklyn throw. Tomas Tingahinya's group has 2 minutes to try to get 2 goals. Would have been a very different situation if Cook had converted that penalty. Near side, Emma Loving. Loving's had a good impact for Brooklyn since coming on in this second half. Loving for Thompson. Breslin continues to poke it along. Scarpelli looking for the angle. Garziano tries the shot. Well, she forced the save out of Asman earlier. That one was traveling quite quickly as well. It's just a fraction too high.
And again, she finds herself, nobody truly stepping to her, takes that touch inside to set up her favored left foot. And I love the strike from Garziano. The confidence and the strike was pure, it was just a little bit high.
Kroger, great header. Rebecca Cook, and make amends for the penalty miss here. Takes on multiple defenders, tries to poke it through. Great defensive work there. Pantuso, as if to make amends for the earlier mishap, comes up with a big defensive stop, and that's the final act. Lexington wins. They beat Brooklyn by 3-1. They take the race for the Players' Shield down to the final day. They get back into second place as well and have the edge on Carolina for at least a first-round home playoff game. They stay within 3 points in touching distance of Sporting Jacks for the #1 overall seed as well. They hold on after a late Brooklyn comeback attempt.
And credit to Brooklyn, they gave Lexington a headache in the first half, working them and with their press, condensing all of the space. Lexington just came out at the end of that 45 and blew this game open, allowing themselves to have a cushion going into the second 45. And then with the changes that Brooklyn made, it put a little bit more pressure on Lexington with the starters back in for Brooklyn. But Lexington will not be denied those 3 points today, making next week look a lot different for this Lexington side.
Well, it wasn't easy. It's frankly never easy this time of the year to pick up big results, but Lexington gets the job done. They beat Brooklyn by 3-1, and the race for the Players' Shield goes down to the final day. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap it up next on Peacock. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Jade Barquette, our entire crew. It's full time in the Gainbridge Super League here on Peacock. Lexington beats Brooklyn by 3-1 to stay in the race for the Players' Shield. We're joined now by one of the heroes, Kat Berry, scoring the second of Lexington's 3 goals. Kat, thanks so much for taking some time. Your goal was your 20th goal-scoring contribution of this season. You're the first player to ever do that in the Gainbridge Super League. What does that milestone mean to you?
Yeah, that's honestly crazy. Like I've said, kind of with everything, I think it's just a testament to this team and the group of girls I'm playing with this year. They constantly are putting me in positions to look good, and I'm just glad to either be on the end of it to set someone up or to be able to put the chance away. And I think it's been a testament to the chance creation and my growth as a forward this year under our coaching staff and playing against such great players every day in and out of training. So yeah, that's massive. Obviously so exciting for myself and for the club, but mostly an achievement for this team, I think.
You talk about the growth of this season, specifically for yourself. How has your game become more well-rounded this year?
Yeah, I think just coming into the pro game, like you always have to add different things to be able to, you know, stay competitive and stay a threat. Teams can figure you out, especially in this league where you're playing teams 3 or 4 times in a season. It's really hard to continue to be effective when a team knows what to expect with a player. So I think continuing to have to add different ways to be able to threaten, whether it's running in behind, beating someone 1v1, shooting from distance, all those different things that teams then have to honor on me. And I think that's been like the key for myself and a lot of us. Plus our team has just so many dynamic options that if I'm not on, I can pass it to one of my teammates who I trust is going to score. And so I think just that kind of consistency and those numbers of goal scorers and just offensive threats on our team, there's always someone ready to score. And I think that that just adds to all of our growth because there's always the next man up, and it is so hard to defend when you just have such consistent threats coming at you on every channel on the field. And so I think that's just kind of been a key for all of us and just our great coaching staff pushing us to that.
You talked about having trusted your teammates. Kat Asman comes up with a gigantic save on that penalty late in the game. She's had a fantastic season just like you have. What's it been like having her as your goalkeeper throughout the campaign?
Yeah, Kat is so awesome. I have so much trust in her back there. I know she's going to make a save every game that keeps us in it. And I had a lot of belief in her on that play, and I know she was ready to step up and do whatever it took. And so that's huge for us. Obviously, goal differential this time of year is massive. So even if it didn't necessarily decide the game, it could have decided a season. So that's huge from her. I'm so proud of her and so lucky to be her teammate and lucky to have her back there to trust in her every single game.
Kat, I have to ask, are we going to see the cat mask on you today? Are you stealing that from Alyssa's locker, or are you staying out of that?
Not really sure that's my style. I kind of leave that to those two, but always here for the laughs and the spirit of those two. So you never know, but yeah, we'll see what the celebration ensues today.
Kat, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Best of luck the rest of the way, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys.
save that changed the tide in this one.
Live table in the Gainbridge Super League. That win puts Lexington back into second place. They have the inside track to at least finish in the top 2. And Jade, they put the pressure on Sporting Club Jacksonville next week in the race for the Players' Shield. It comes down to those two teams.
And Sporting Jacks is going to be playing Carolina. A preview for the playoffs. You never know what could happen down the stretch there. These standings are ever changing. You have to keep an eye on these top 4 teams.
4 games next week to decide 2 very important things. The final playoff spot, Spokane plays Brooklyn, Dallas plays Fort Lauderdale. Dallas has the edge, but Spokane can still catch them. Lexington hosts Tampa Bay, Carolina hosts Jacksonville. Jacksonville and Lexington fighting for the Players' Shield. Carolina hoping to catch Lexington maybe for the number 2 spot.
It's all going to shake up next weekend. You're not going to want to miss the finale of the Gainbridge Super League regular season.
All those games will be on Peacock. You're really going to want to tune in for the final day of the regular season. But Sunday, Mother's Day, is Lexington's day. In Kentucky, they hold on. They beat Brooklyn by 3-1 to jump back into second and stay in the race for the coveted Players' Shield. For Jade Barquette and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Lexington. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day. And we'll see you next week for the finale on Peacock.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.